Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Belle Collective Season 2, Episode 6, entitled Stalk It To Me. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. We pick up right where we left off, with Tambra wanting to know if there's something more between Damon and Lateshia, and him deflecting the question from production. He tells Tambra that he's just friends, and he thought that him and Lateshia were just friends. He doesn't do drama, and he doesn't have anything to do or anything to know about what's going on with her. Marie goes to meet Tisha and Latrice for lunch. She's excited to move forward since her and Latrice have reconciled. While parking, Latrice notices that Tisha and Glen are arguing. Tisha has noticed that Glen has followed her around all morning now while she's on her way to lunch. She also noticed that Glen's friends have been keeping up tabs on her as well. He demands to know why she hasn't answered his calls and that she should answer every single call and that he needs her. Glen says to production that I don't need to know where she is at all times. I'm not like a parole officer, but I need to know where she is, and I need her at all times. He speeds off, almost hitting the film crew. Everyone sits down to chat, and Tisha is embarrassed by his behavior. The nerve to follow me around. Latrice finds it interesting that he thinks that she's seeing someone else, and he's the one that's been cheating, right? They try to move on, and Latrice says to production that it's great to know that Marie and I are moving on, but this has happened before. We start off on the right foot, and then Marie acts different. Let's see how long and how many days this will last. Hopefully it stays on the right path. Latrice tells the ladies that she's glad that everyone is moving on. Marie and her have had some differences, but they all knew where they stood. When it comes to Akisha, on the other hand, she's been going behind their backs. Latrice says to production that it's been said that Akisha called us ugly, but I know she wasn't talking about me because I can run circles around Akisha, her husband, and her entire life. Tisha wants to know and get to the bottom of the he said, she said. She even tried to warn Tambra about how Damon was allegedly emotionally involved with Lateshia. She can't say something or go in for her friend if she's not getting the full truth. She doesn't know the entire truth and can't say that if they've done anything behind Tambra's back. Tambra also sent an invite, a Sistervention, to all of the ladies to get to the bottom of all the issues. Sogucci and JJ have been together for 15 years and married for 4. Until they were married, they stayed at their own places. Gucci has 2 children from previous relationships, Shateria, who goes by D, and she's 6 months pregnant, along with her son, Michael. JJ has 3 kids, Sky and Star, who are twins, and Sanjay. Of course, they all have their issues, but JJ and her can only do so much. A lot of the things that her and Jay do, they can't do because D is around. Gucci wants to extend her real estate business and also is in the process of helping Latrice look for more property. The tea is that Glen has stepped out on his marriage and has a baby on the side. But JJ wants to get all the fellas together for a fishing event so they can have a heart-to-heart as men. There's always 2 sides to each story. It's awkward energy between Tisha and Glen, but they try to muster up being cordial for their son's 7th birthday party. The day starts off rocky as Tisha notices the birthday cake is slightly disturbed from Glen's fast driving. Guests slowly arrive, and when Latrice gets the birthday treats, there's more negative energy. From last season, Latrice gave some inside scoop to Tisha that her hubby Glen was possibly cheating. Latrice and Cliff said to production that hopefully Glen can remain cool and remember that everyone is there for their son. He shouldn't do anything that he will regret. Glen tries to go over and over to speak with Tisha, but Tisha feels that it's the wrong place, the wrong time to talk about anything that has to do with their relationship. She whispers to him, "You're not about to embarrass me." Glen goes away to talk to Cliff because Tisha brushes him off. Glen tries to explain why he had his friends follow Tisha. He musters up a story that Jackson is dangerous and he only did it for her protection. He also paints an analogy that he's a helpless goat and Tisha is an eagle. Cliff says to production that Cliff is forgetting that he cheated and this situation is happening because of what he did. He needs to stop trying to convince himself that he did nothing wrong. Plus, he's talking about eagles and goats. I have no idea what he's talking about. Tisha checks in on the party and overhears Glen ranting about her. She wants him to chill out and not ruin their son's birthday party. By this time, everyone has gathered around trying to calm down Glen. Marie wants them to realize that all that matters at the end is Josh. She understands everything that they're going through. Latrice pulls Tisha to the side and consoles her. She can get that Tisha is over the heartache and tears. More than anything, she just wants Glen to get his stuff together because Tisha is her friend. It's sad that Tisha is crying at her son's birthday party. Marie meets with Akisha so she can bring her grandchild Zane, and Akisha can bring her son for a play date. Marie doesn't want to address any of the he said she said about Akisha supposedly saying that Marie and Latrice are ugly. Marie only wants a chance to meet Akisha and get to know her for herself without any of the other ladies around. They take a moment to chat, and Marie has her grandchild full time due to Zane's mother's passing away, and her son Jerez is in college. She hasn't had a baby in the house for over 9 years. Akisha says that she's brokenhearted about what happened and that they're blessed to have Marie in their lives. Akisha cries for her, saying that she can't imagine what Marie is going through. Marie's health is a battle. She only wants to stay strong for the family. They enjoyed this moment in getting to know one another and look forward to having another play date. The fellas are out for some fishing, and Glen does admit that he had an affair but feels the side baby is a rumor. Willie, though, wants to get to the truth. Is that your baby or not? Glen makes a crazy statement by saying, I don't know, all black people have big noses, but Willie is just taken back by it all. The southern accents and the slang. He has no idea what they're talking about. Cliff says to production that he just needs to take a DNA test to make sure that he knows what's up. If it's his child, he needs to step up and be a man. If not, he can start a clean slate with his wife or at least try to make things better. JJ says the rumors are rumors, and he even heard Cliff was sleeping with his ex. But Cliff clears it up and saying that was 23 years ago. Willie throws in some shade, of course, saying, hey, what do you do in Mississippi besides infidelity? The fellas don't take that joking lightheartedly, and Cliff urges to change the subject. Willie's shade causes tension in the circle. They start to fish, and that helps calm the mood. It's Sistervention time 2.0. The goal is for everyone to clear the air. Tambra makes a toast to the good life and being at the table with successful black women. Marie couldn't be in attendance due to a lupus flare-up, but will join them later via FaceTime. There's an additional clip shown that Akisha found out that there was a birthday party for Marie, but she wasn't invited. Now Akisha is confused about her and Marie's so-called sisterhood. Tambra starts off by saying that she doesn't like the he said, she said. Latrice says to production that Tambra Cherie is a walking contradiction. She should have known she would have stirred up the hornet's nest by telling the ladies that Akisha said they were ugly. All it would do is make Akisha public enemy number one. There's back and forth between Tisha and Aikisha about the brunch and all of the shade. Even Tambra says that you were shady. Tambra says that, hey, I said that Akisha throws shade. I didn't say she was shady. Sogucci says to production that it's hilarious that Tambra doesn't know that that's the same thing. Akisha defends herself, saying that she's not shady. Shady is deceitful, and that's not who she is. Tisha reminds Akisha that she's at this table of sisterhood because she invited her. Akisha snaps back, saying that if she invited her to the table, make sure the plates are clean. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So unfortunately, Tambra, it's looking like you're straddling the fence. And it's also looking like you are saying one thing to one group of ladies and then saying something else to Akisha. Now, when you warned everybody else that, hey, Akisha can be a little shady, throw shade, whatever you said, you gave the ladies a warning that she can say some things that can come off kind of abrasive, harsh, however you want to say it. You gave the other ladies warning that this woman Akisha can say some stuff that can ruffle some feathers, all right? Whatever words that you say, you gave them other ladies a warning. Now, you didn't give Akisha a warning about the other ladies from what we've seen so far in the production, so it's time to you to fess up. Are you translating messages from group to group, and are you straddling the fence when it comes to being that friend? Now, it's unfortunate when you have a group of friends and some people within the group of friends don't get along. I get that. And sometimes it's difficult to not, transfer information from one side to the next. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. But here's the thing. Now you're caught in a situation where people are like, hey, that's what you said. You told me that about Akisha. Right? And now it's like, you're backpedaling. You're kind of changing the words. It's not really making you look too good, Tambra. So what I'm hoping is that you realize that if you do have friends that do not get along, you do have to take responsibility and not transferring information. Let me give you a perfect example. If I have friends that do not get along and one friend tells me, girl, I hit my foot the other day, and could you believe after I hit my foot, then I went here, then I went there, and they tell you something. Then you go to the other friend and be like, girl, such and such ain't here because she hit her foot and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's something that happened, right? Now we're talking about personal information or keys that one girl has said. If I have one friend that says, girl, your friend Shirley, she showed you blah, blah, blah. She didn't, her hair is ugly, right? You telling me that. If I go back and tell the other person that, hey, girl, they said you was ugly and this and this and this. Now you were straddling the fence. And now you're causing mustard. Now you are messy. You are messy boots. It's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate, but when you share information like that, it puts you in a pickle, my love. It puts you in a situation where it doesn't make you look trustworthy. You're not coming off trustworthy. It's looking like you don't know what confidential means, that you can't keep your mouth shut, that people can't trust you. That's what it's looking like. And from the previews for next week, you're getting so upset that you're yelling and you're hitting the table. Okay. So it looks like there are, unfortunately, cliques that are starting to form, that there will be cliques after this. Whenever you have a group of people that doesn't trust another group of people, then they become a group. And then when this group of people, you're starting to get cliques. It's highly likely for the rest of this season that there'll probably be 3 cliques of people. People who don't like Akisha, people who like Akisha, and people who can't make up their minds about Akisha, and they just cool with everybody. That's what's going to happen. It's unfortunate that you got these grown adults who are behaving this way. You would think that all they would be talking about is making that money, but then the show would be boring. There really isn't too much to review about. The trust has been broken with a lot of these women when it comes to the pettiness and the cattiness and events and who's better and who can do this, when the ultimate thing should be Fair Street, should be their businesses, should be growing, should be developing, should be their marriages, because it's a lot. It was really refreshing to see that Sogucci and her husband JJ, we got to see their side of the family. And then with the next episode, we're getting to know their children a little bit more. And the children have a conflict because now you have a blended family that's trying to get to know each other and grow and develop, right? So it's a lot. I really hope that they don't stretch out this season. I really hope that they don't make it 12 episodes and then reunion specials, 3 parts. And I really hope that they don't do that. This season shouldn't go any more than 8, 9 episodes because there's so many women this season that we need to get to know and what's the updates and what's going on in their life. Now, one person that really doesn't need to be in this bunch is Latrice's publicist. What's her name? Melanie? I forgot. She doesn't need to be on here. Latrice's manager who spilled the tea to Akisha, he doesn't need to be on here. There's a lot of people that don't need to be on here. I really feel that we don't need Sogucci and JJ. But without Sogucci and JJ, it would have been a little boring. Without Akisha's drama, it would have been boring. So them kind of behind the scenes with Marie and Latrice, trying to get them to reconcile, that's really saving the show because they bring a lot of interesting things to the show. Lateshia and Glen's relationship, unfortunately, is very toxic. Marie's relationship with her ex-husband is very toxic. But who are we to judge, right? I mean, we can look at their relationships and their lives and say that this is this and this and this, as well as somebody could flip it around and look at our families and be like, hey, look at what you're doing with your life, I just hope that they fix the toxicity because the children are the bottom line and making sure that everything's okay. And then because the kids are seeing that. Josh is seeing the toxicity, you know what I mean? Marie's children, her grandchildren, they see it. Kids are not dumb. So I really hope that people work that out. There's really nothing to review in this episode besides that I've been saying Damon looks trifling and acts trifling since season 1. I think Tambra is just so in deep in wanting to have a baby. She's sees the red flags, but she's choosing not to look at them. It gives off, I'm so desperate to have a baby, and this is the only person that I've known for so many years, and I'm willing to look over that. That's what it feels like. I really hope that there's nothing going on between Damon and the other woman. I really hope that he's really into Tambra. I really hope that they get married and do what they want and not get married just because Tambra wants to. I really hope if they do get married, that's something that he also wants to do. It's clearly a lot of the stuff that they're not telling everyone, and they're not being transparent with this show. And I hope I hope that we get that later on this season, because if we don't get to the bottom of Damon and Tambra, it's just going to stretch on. And if you're not going to share anything, then you don't need to be on the show. The relationship seems very off, very weird between Damon and Tambra. It just doesn't feel right. Tambra's parents just want to see her happy, so I think that's just like rolling with whatever their daughter wants to do and whatever she wants to roll with, which is unfortunate. Let me know what you think. Remember to subscribe, like this video. Check out other playlists. Check out Ready to Love Miami. It's a reality dating show series. Check out Atlanta. If you didn't see the previous season, make sure that you binge watch that, because the new season, the final season, is coming September 15th. Make sure that you check out those full episode recaps and reviews, and stay tuned, you guys, for the prequel to the original series of Game of Thrones. It's the prequel, House of the Dragon, on HBO. Make sure that you check that out. In the meantime, in between time, remember to take care of yourself and each other. I love you. Bye.